Have you ever stopped for a moment and felt something quiet inside you? Not a loud thought or a list of things to do, just a soft feeling that there is more. It comes when the house is still or when the morning light first touches your window. It isn't dramatic. It isn't complicated. It is like a tiny voice that has been with you since the day you were born. This voice has never tried to scare you. It has never rushed you. It waits. Even when life feels too busy, even when you forget, it waits. It is a gentle reminder that you are part of something bigger than all the noise around you. It wants you to know that you are not small. You are not lost. You belong here. Maybe you have felt it when you look at the sky and for a second everything seems clear, or when a quiet evening suddenly feels full of meaning you can't explain. That is the whisper. It is the part of you that knows you are more than the work you do or the roles you play. It knows that the world is wider and kinder than it sometimes seems. It knows that you are already connected to it. You do not have to go anywhere to find it. You do not have to be someone else. All you need is a small pause and a breath. Close your eyes for just a heartbeat. There it is, soft, patient, waiting. It is saying, you are ready to remember who you are. You are ready to walk in the life that was meant for you. When you start to listen, something begins to change. Little by little, the heavy feeling of being separate starts to fade. Small moments of light begin to show up. Kind words from a stranger, a sudden idea, a friend who calls at the right time. It is not luck. It is the whisper leading you back to yourself. Take one slow breath. Feel your heart move with it. If this gentle call is real for you, let the universe know you are listening. Write in the comments, "I listen to my inner voice." This simple line is more than words on a screen. It is your first step, a quiet, powerful yes to the part of you that has been waiting all along. Have you ever had a second when everything around you suddenly feels a little quieter? It can happen in the middle of an ordinary day. You might be walking down a busy street or washing a plate in the sink. For no clear reason, the air seems lighter. The noise fades. Time stretches. You notice details you normally rush past. Tiny patterns in the clouds, the slow sway of a tree branch, the way sunlight bends across a floor. It is as if the whole world has taken a deep breath and invited you to do the same. This soft moment isn't an accident. It is the universe showing you how to pause. It is the gentle space between one heartbeat and the next, where you can remember that you are more than schedules and plans. The world softens so you can feel your own softness. It is a quiet invitation to step out of the rush and simply be. Maybe you've felt it while watching rain slide down a window, or when you're alone in a car and a song you love plays at just the right time. For a brief instant, you stop thinking about what's next. You are simply here, awake, breathing, safe. That stillness is not empty. It is full of life. It is the place where your heart can hear what it has been trying to tell you. When you notice this feeling, don't hurry past it. Let it wash over you. Let your shoulders drop. Feel the weight you've been carrying begin to ease. This is the universe's way of reminding you that the deepest truths don't arrive with fanfare. They arrive in whispers, in small pauses, in the spaces where you are finally quiet enough to listen. In these moments, ordinary things begin to glow. The taste of water feels like a gift. The sound of a friend's laughter lingers a little longer. You start to see that life has always been offering you beauty, soft, constant, and free. When you live inside the noise of worry or hurry, you miss it. But the world never stops offering it. It only waits for you to notice. Something else happens here too. As the world softens, your heart begins to open. Old fears loosen their grip. The tight knot of what if and not enough starts to untangle. You sense that there is more support around you than you realized. You are part of something that wants you to grow. This isn't about perfect plans or big gestures. It's about small moments of trust that slowly build a new way of living. Right now, give yourself permission to stay in this softness. Take one slow breath in and one slow breath out. Feel how even a single breath can change the way you experience the room you are in. This is the doorway to the deeper journey ahead. You don't have to force it. You only have to notice it. If you'd like to keep this gentle reminder close, subscribe and turn on the bell so that messages like this can reach you whenever you need them. Let this simple act be more than a click. Let it be a quiet promise to yourself. I will remember to pause. I will let the world soften for me. This is how the journey begins. Not with a loud revelation, but with a quiet moment where everything slows down and you finally remember that you are already part of something vast and kind. There is a door inside you that no one else can see. It isn't made of wood or metal. It doesn't creak or lock. It lives behind every heartbeat, waiting for you to notice. For most of your life, it might have felt like a mystery you couldn't name, a gentle pressure in your chest, a sense that something more is possible, but just out of reach. This hidden door is the quiet entrance to the life you were meant to live. You have already felt it. Maybe when you sat alone at night and the world finally grew still. Maybe when you held someone's hand and felt a rush of love that had no words. In those moments, something inside you opened for a second. That was the door moving, even if you didn't realize it. It does not need a key from anyone else. It waits for your touch. Most of the time we move too quickly to see it. We fill our days with tasks, plans, and a constant hum of thoughts. The noise makes us forget that the most important entrance is already inside us. This door doesn't respond to stress or pressure. It opens only when you slow down enough to listen. It opens when you dare to feel. Behind it is not a secret room full of answers. It is something far more alive, a flow of love, clarity, and quiet power that has always been part of you. It is the place where the universe and your heart meet. It is where guidance comes from. Not as a loud command, but as a deep knowing that feels both gentle and sure. Here, you don't have to pretend. You don't have to prove anything. You are already enough. Take a slow breath and imagine this door. It may appear in your mind as a simple light, a soft glow, or a shape that only you can see. Notice how it feels. You might sense warmth, or a calm that begins to spread through your chest and shoulders. That feeling is not your imagination. It is the real energy of your own heart, inviting you to step inside. As you breathe, you may notice memories rising, moments of kindness, moments of pain, things you thought you had forgotten. Do not push them away. They are simply visitors passing through as the door opens. Each memory is like a leaf on a stream, floating by and making space for something new. When you enter this quiet space, you begin to sense how connected you already are. You realize you were never separate from the bigger life around you. You are a thread in a vast tapestry, and the pattern is more beautiful than you imagined. This is where intuition begins to speak. It might give you a sudden idea, a gentle nudge to call someone, or a feeling that it's time to begin something new. Trust those signals. They are the language of the hidden door. The more you visit this inner room, the more natural it becomes. Old fears start to fade. The need to rush or to control every detail loosens. You begin to act from a place of quiet strength rather than from worry. People around you will notice the change. They might say you seem lighter, calmer, more sure of yourself. That is because the door inside your chest is no longer just a mystery. It is part of your daily life. You don't have to wait for perfect silence or special rituals to step through. You only need a few breaths and the willingness to listen. You can pause in a crowded room and still feel it. You can close your eyes for 3 seconds at a traffic light and find it. The door is always there, as close as your next heartbeat. Right now, give yourself permission to open it a little wider. Let the calm spread through you. Notice how even the smallest opening changes the way you feel. This is how you remember the truth. You were never cut off from love, never separated from guidance, never truly alone. If this moment speaks to you, click the like button as a quiet way of saying yes. Not to me, but to yourself. Each simple click is a way to mark this step, to tell the universe, I welcome the opening of my heart's hidden door. And as you continue this journey, Know that every time you return to this place, every time you breathe and listen, you walk more fully into the life that has been waiting for you all along. Have you ever noticed how a single thought can change the way the whole day feels? It can be something small, like remembering a kind word someone said yesterday, or a simple picture in your mind of a place you'd like to visit. Suddenly, the air around you seems lighter. Your shoulders drop. A quiet smile appears almost without effort. It isn't magic. It's the quiet power of attention. Whatever you give your attention to begins to shape the way you move through the world. Most of the time, we let thoughts drift past without noticing. They come and go like clouds, and we barely pause to see their shapes. But every so often, a thought arrives that carries a little more weight. It lingers. It asks you to stay with it. It might be a memory of something that once made you happy. It might be a dream that you've never spoken out loud. These thoughts are like invitations. They whisper, "What if you stepped a little closer to what you really want?" When you start to treat your thoughts as invitations, something gentle begins to happen. You stop fighting with the busy chatter inside your head and start listening for the ones that feel alive. Not every thought deserves a seat at your table. Some are just noise, echoes of fear, or old habits. But hidden among them are the thoughts that lead you back to yourself. They feel a little warmer. They make you breathe a little deeper. They often carry a sense of quiet excitement, like the moment before a new song begins. The more you notice these good invitations, the more they seem to appear. It's as if your mind has been waiting for you to pay attention. You might find yourself remembering small moments of kindness. The way sunlight hit the floor yesterday morning, the way a friend laughed without worry. These memories are not random. They are gentle reminders of the life you want to live more often. They guide you toward choices that match the kind of world you wish to create. Try this. Pause for just one slow breath. Ask yourself, which thought today feels like an open door? Don't rush the answer. It might be the idea to call someone you've missed. It might be a quiet urge to rest or to begin a project you keep postponing. Whatever it is, notice how your body reacts. Do you feel a small lift in your chest? A softening in your stomach? That is your inner compass saying, yes, this is worth following. Treat these moments with care. Write the thought down. Speak it softly to yourself. Tiny steps count. When you honor an invitation like this, even in a small way, you begin to build a life that reflects the things you value most. It might not look dramatic from the outside, but inside, the shift is real. Each time you choose a thought that carries light instead of heaviness, you make it easier for the next bright thought to appear. This doesn't mean you must force yourself to be cheerful every minute. It means you notice what kind of thoughts you feed. When a heavy or fearful thought shows up, you can gently let it pass, the way you'd watch a dark cloud drift across the sky. You don't have to grab it or chase it. You simply let it move on. Then you turn again toward the thoughts that invite you into calm and possibility. You will start to see small changes. Conversations open in unexpected ways. Solutions appear where there once seemed to be none. People respond to the quiet confidence that grows when you follow the thoughts that nourish you. And perhaps most important of all, you begin to trust yourself. You realize that guidance doesn't always arrive with a loud announcement. Often it comes as a simple idea, a quiet inner picture, a soft sentence that drifts across your mind like a feather. So today, as you move through ordinary tasks, stay alert for these subtle invitations. They are not accidents. They are the gentle language of your own heart. Each one is a door that leads you closer to the life you want to create, a life that feels peaceful and true, not because someone else designed it, but because you chose it, thought by thought. Take another slow breath. Let it fill the space behind your ribs and leave as easily as it came. Notice which thought lingers when the breath is gone. That is the invitation waiting for you now. When you feel it, honor it. Even a single step toward it is enough to begin. There is a music inside you that never stops. It plays when you are laughing, when you are tired, even when you think you are standing in silence. It isn't the sound of drums or strings. It is the quiet rhythm of life itself. It is the steady beat of your own heart. the gentle rise and fall of your breath, the soft pulse of blood moving through every tiny path in your body. This music has been with you since the very first moment you existed, and it will stay with you for every step of your journey. Most days you forget it is there. The noise of the world covers it. Cars, phones, conversations, worries, plans. You rush from one thing to the next, and the song inside you becomes like a background hum you no longer hear. But it never leaves. It waits, patient and faithful, like a friend who understands that one day you will turn and notice again. Sometimes you catch it without trying, maybe late at night when the house is still and you suddenly hear the soft thump of your own heartbeat, or in the early morning when you wake before the alarm and feel the slow rhythm of your breath. In those moments you realize there is a living music that asks nothing of you. It simply is. It tells you without a single word that you are alive and that life is moving through you with quiet strength. This music carries wisdom. It teaches that you do not have to force everything. The heart does not beat because you remember to command it. The lungs do not fill with air because you earn the right. They simply move. They trust the flow of life. When you listen, you begin to remember that the same trust can guide the rest of you. The rhythm that keeps you alive also wants to guide the way you live. Sit for a moment and feel it. Close your eyes if you can. Place a hand gently on your chest. Notice how the beat rises to meet your palm. This is your first instrument. It is older than any story you tell about yourself. It does not care about mistakes or titles or the race of the day. It only knows how to keep going, how to sing the song of being here. When you stay with this awareness, the world around you begins to soften. The sound of traffic becomes part of the melody. A bird's call in the distance joins like a flute. Even the simple creak of a chair becomes a note. Life reveals itself as a single piece of music in which everything belongs. And you are not just listening, you are part of the orchestra. This is more than a pleasant thought. It is a practice. When worry starts to crowd your mind, you can return to this music. Breathe with it. Let it remind you that you are supported by something steady and kind. The beat of your heart is proof that life itself wants you here. No matter how tangled your thoughts may feel, the rhythm beneath them stays calm and sure. It is always ready to bring you back. Think about the times when you have felt completely present, watching the sunset, holding a child, standing under a wide sky. In those moments, you were moving in time with the music beneath your skin. You didn't have to plan it. You simply matched the rhythm that was already there. That is why those memories feel so clear and peaceful. You were in harmony with yourself and with everything around you. You can choose to listen more often. You can pause during a busy day and let one slow breath carry you back to that steady beat. With each breath, the noise of the world falls away a little, and the true music becomes easier to hear. It isn't an escape from life. It is life. It is the sound of the universe moving through you, the quiet proof that you belong. And when you begin to live from that rhythm, other things start to change. You speak more kindly because you are no longer rushing. You notice small blessings, a smile, a warm cup of tea, the color of evening light, because you are finally moving at the speed of your own heart. Opportunities appear in a more natural way. You no longer have to chase them. You meet them in step. Take a breath now and feel it again, the soft rise and fall, the faithful drum inside your chest. This is the music that never leaves you. It is the quiet friend who guides you back to yourself every single time. If this gentle reminder touches something in you, share this message with someone you care about, a friend, a family member, anyone who might need to remember the rhythm that lives inside them. And if you want to keep returning to words that help you hear this inner song, pass this video along and let the harmony grow beyond you. The music beneath your skin is not a secret to be solved. It is a truth to be felt. Every breath, every heartbeat, every quiet moment is another note. Listen, it is already playing. There are stories you have been carrying for so long that they feel like the shape of who you are. Some were whispered to you when you were small. Some were built from things that hurt. Others you wrote yourself when life felt heavy and confusing. Over time, they settled inside you like furniture in a room, so familiar that you hardly notice them anymore. Yet many of these stories are not the truth of your heart. They are simply old echoes, chapters that have finished but still take up space. Think of the first stories you learned about yourself. Maybe someone told you that you had to be perfect to be loved, or that success only comes after struggle, or that you must always put others first. Perhaps you watched adults around you and quietly copied their fears. Money never lasts, love always hurts, the world is a dangerous place. These ideas can cling like a second skin. You grow older, but the words stay. They whisper when you try something new. Be careful, don't dream too big. Remember what happened last time. For a while you might believe them. You plan your days inside the walls they build. You call it being realistic. But deep down, a part of you knows these stories are not who you really are. They were written in moments when you didn't yet know your own strength. They were someone else's fears handed to you before you could choose for yourself. One day you begin to see the cracks. Maybe you notice how often you repeat the same pattern in relationships. Maybe you catch yourself turning away from opportunities even when you want them. Maybe you simply feel tired of carrying a weight that has no clear name. This is the first sign that the stories are ready to be released. They are not a life sentence. They are just words, and words can be set down. Letting go does not mean erasing the past or pretending pain never happened. It means seeing the story for what it is, an experience, not an identity. It means understanding that what once protected you has now become too small. It means thanking those old chapters for what they taught you and gently putting them back on the shelf. Begin with noticing. When an old thought rises, I'm not good enough, things never work out for me. Pause. Feel the breath move in and out of your chest. Say quietly, that is an old story. Do not fight it. Do not try to prove it wrong. Simply name it and let it pass. Like a cloud across a wide sky, it will drift away when you stop holding it. Some stories will ask for a deeper release. You might write them down on paper. The beliefs that no longer fit, the fears that keep circling. As you write, you take them out of hiding. You give them shape so you can let them go. When you are ready, you can fold the paper, burn it safely, or place it somewhere you will not look again. It isn't about the ritual itself. It is about the decision, the quiet promise that you no longer live inside those lines. Letting go also means forgiving. Sometimes you must forgive the people who gave you their fears. Sometimes you must forgive yourself for carrying them for so long. Forgiveness does not mean saying what happened was right. It means releasing the grip that old pain has on your heart. It means choosing freedom over resentment. It means giving yourself back to yourself. As the old stories loosen, something beautiful begins to happen. You make space. Space for new thoughts, new connections, new ways of being. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach begin to appear. You notice kindness where before you only saw struggle. Your heart feels lighter, your steps surer. You realize that life was never waiting for you to be perfect. It was waiting for you to be free. This freedom is not a single moment. It is a practice. Some days the old voices will try to return. They may knock at the door of your mind when you are tired or unsure. Smile at them. Say, I remember you, but I do not live in your story anymore. Then turn back to the present, where your real life is happening. Take a slow breath right now. Feel the gentle rhythm beneath your skin. This is the music of a new chapter beginning. You are not the sum of every hurt or every warning you were ever given. You are the writer now. You choose the words that shape the days ahead. If you are ready to mark this turning point, write in the comments, I release what no longer serves me. Type it slowly, letting each word feel like a small door opening. As you write, picture the old stories drifting away like leaves on a quiet river. They do not disappear in anger. They simply move on, making room for something brighter. You have carried these stories for a long time. They helped you survive, but you are no longer only surviving. You are growing. You are stepping into a life that fits the truth of who you really are. And every breath you take from this moment forward is a sentence in the new story you are writing. There is a quiet kind of courage that does not look like the courage we usually admire. It isn't loud. It isn't about rushing into danger or standing under bright lights. It lives in the space between a dream and its first proof. It is the courage to trust what you feel before you can hold it in your hands. It is the choice to believe before you see. Most of us are taught to wait for evidence. We are told to believe something only after we can measure it, only after someone else has confirmed it. That is useful when we're learning facts or testing an idea. But there is another kind of knowing that does not begin with proof. It begins with a small tug in the heart, a gentle certainty that something good is possible, even when nothing around you shows a single sign of it. This is the kind of belief that shapes a life. Perhaps you have felt it before. You wake with a sudden picture of the life you wish to create, a new path for your work, a kinder relationship with someone you love, a fresh way of living that feels more like you. Nothing has changed yet, but the picture feels real. For a moment, you can almost taste it. Then doubt arrives. A voice inside says, "You're getting ahead of yourself. Wait until you have proof." That is the crossroads where quiet courage is needed. To believe before you see is to choose the whisper over the noise. This courage is not about pretending that everything is easy. It is about allowing a seed of hope to stay alive when the soil still looks dry. A gardener does not stare at the earth and demand a flower the same day a seed is planted. The gardener waters the ground, trusts the process, and waits. Believing before you see is the same. It is watering the invisible. It is knowing that something is growing even when you cannot yet point to a single green shoot. Start small. Close your eyes and picture something you long for, not as a wish far away, but as if it is already unfolding. Notice the details. What does the room feel like when this dream is alive? How does your body feel when the change you want is real? Let that feeling settle in your chest. That feeling is your first proof. It is the quiet evidence that belief can create space for what is coming. There will be days when the world seems to argue against your dream. Bills will arrive. Plans will fall through. Someone may speak words of doubt. The courage to believe before you see is not shaken by these things. It listens. It adjusts when needed, but it does not surrender the inner knowing. It keeps the vision alive, the way a lighthouse keeps its beam steady in a storm. Sometimes the hardest part is the waiting. Our minds want control. They want a calendar and a guarantee. But believing is not about forcing a deadline. It is about learning to rest in trust. It is waking each morning and choosing again to live as if the good you imagine is already on its way. It is saying, "I will take steps in the direction of my dream, even when the road is not yet visible." Think of the times you already practice this without noticing. When you plant a seed in soil, you trust that hidden work is happening. When you breathe in, you trust that the next breath will follow. You live every day with quiet faith in things unseen. This same faith can guide the bigger hopes of your heart. Belief of this kind begins to change you. Your choices start to match the world you want to create. You speak with more kindness because you expect kindness to grow. You reach for opportunities because you expect doors to open. You begin to notice signs, small coincidences, unexpected offers of help, moments of perfect timing. These are not accidents. They are the first visible notes of the song you believed in, long before it could be heard. Others might not understand. They may say you are unrealistic, but the courage to believe before you see is not about proving anything to anyone else. It is about staying true to the quiet truth inside you. It is about choosing the steady inner light over the passing opinions of the crowd. If doubt returns, and it will, meet it with gentleness. Doubt is simply the mind asking for reassurance. You can give that reassurance without abandoning your dream. Return to the feeling you found when you first pictured the life you want. Breathe it in. Remind yourself, "I can trust what I feel before it takes shape." Right now, pause and try this. Close your eyes for one slow breath. Imagine that the thing you hope for has already arrived. Feel the relief, the gratitude, the quiet joy. Let your body memorize that sensation. When you open your eyes, carry that feeling into the rest of your day. It is a living proof, a private promise that what you believe in is already finding its way to you. If this message touches you, click the like button as a small sign of trust, not for me, but for yourself. Let that simple gesture be a quiet declaration. I believe before I see. And if you want these gentle reminders to reach you again when you most need them, subscribe and turn on the bell so the next time doubt whispers, a message of hope will be waiting. The courage to believe before you see is not a single leap. It is a daily choice, a practice of quiet faith. Every time you return to it, you strengthen a path that leads you forward. And one day, without even noticing the exact moment it happened, you will look around and see the life you once only pictured standing right in front of you. The proof will have arrived, but your heart will know the truth. You were living it all along. There are moments in life when something small catches your attention, and you are not sure why. It could be a feather resting on a sidewalk, a song that begins to play just as you think of someone, a message from a friend arriving at the exact second you needed to hear a kind word. These little events seem simple, almost too simple to matter, yet they carry a quiet power. They are signs, soft markers that let you know you are not wandering alone. You don't have to go searching for them. Often they appear when you least expect it, while you are busy with ordinary tasks. Maybe you are rushing to work, and suddenly the morning light falls across the street in a way that stops you for a breath. Maybe you are washing dishes, and the scent of a flower drifts through the window, even though you cannot see a single bloom. The sign itself might be tiny, but the feeling that comes with it is unmistakable. A gentle recognition that something is speaking to you in a language beyond words. Signs are not about predicting the future. They are invitations to notice the present. They remind you that there is a rhythm beneath the surface of everyday life, a rhythm that has been guiding you all along. When you slow down long enough to see these moments, you realize that life has been whispering encouragements and directions like this for years. Think about the last time you felt completely stuck. Perhaps you were unsure which path to take, or you doubted that your efforts were leading anywhere. Then, almost as if the world heard your private question, a small answer arrived. A stranger's kind comment, a sudden memory of advice from someone you trust, or an unexpected piece of information that gave you clarity. That is how signs often work. They are gentle nudges, not loud announcements. They do not force you. They simply offer a quiet reassurance that you are moving in the right direction. To notice them, you don't need special skills. You only need to pay attention. Begin with the senses. The color of the sky at an unexpected hour. The way a breeze shifts when you are deep in thought. The sound of a distant bell when you are asking for guidance. These details may seem ordinary, but when they arrive at just the right moment, they carry a spark of meaning. It is the timing that speaks. Keeping a small notebook or even a note on your phone can help you see how often these signs appear. Write down the little coincidences, the word you keep hearing, the animal you notice again and again, the pattern of numbers that seems to follow you. Later, when you look back, you will see a pattern forming, a gentle map that life has been drawing just for you. At first, you may wonder if you are imagining things. That is natural. But as you record these moments, you will begin to trust what you notice. You will see that the signs are not random. They are woven into the fabric of your days. They arrive like stepping stones, guiding you across a river you once thought too wide to cross. Sometimes a sign is a reminder of support, a sudden phone call from a loved one when you were feeling alone, a book falling open to a sentence that speaks directly to your question. Other times a sign points toward change. Perhaps you keep seeing the same image or hearing the same phrase just as you begin to consider a new path. It is as though life is quietly saying, yes, pay attention here. There will also be times when the signs feel faint or far away. You might wonder if they have stopped. But even in the quiet, guidance continues. The pause is part of the message. It invites you to trust, to keep moving, even when you cannot yet see the next marker. This trust is itself a sign, a signal that your inner compass is strong enough to lead you through the spaces where proof has not yet appeared. You can also become a sign for someone else. A kind word spoken without reason, a simple gesture of help, Even a smile offered at the right time can be the very answer another person has been silently asking for. In this way, the flow of guidance moves both ways. You receive and you give. Every small act of kindness you offer becomes part of the network of signs that help others find their path. Pause now and think of a recent moment that felt like more than chance. Maybe it was something you dismissed at the time. Let it come back to you. Notice how your body feels when you remember it. That slight lift in your chest, that quiet warmth. This is recognition. It is your heart's way of saying, I see it now. I am guided. If you feel inspired, share this video with someone who might need a gentle sign today. Your simple act of sharing can become the very nudge they have been waiting for. And when you notice your own next sign, however small, write it in the comments to mark the moment. Your words will encourage others and remind you later of how clearly life speaks when you are ready to listen. As you move forward, keep watching for these soft messages. They are not here to control you or to make choices for you. They are here to remind you that you are never moving through life by accident. Every feather, every song, every perfectly timed encounter is part of a quiet conversation that has been happening all along. The signs are already around you now, waiting for the moment you lift your eyes and notice. Take a breath, soften your gaze, and listen. The next message may already be on its way. There will be days when the sky darkens and nothing seems to go the way you planned. A friend disappoints you, work unravels, or an unexpected loss knocks the air from your chest. The world that once felt steady suddenly tilts, and you may wonder if the path you've been following has disappeared. In those moments, it is easy to believe the light inside you is fragile, but this is when you discover the quiet strength you carry. This is when you learn to hold your light through the storm. Your inner light is not a glow that needs perfect weather. It is not a candle that the wind can blow out. It is more like the steady fire at the heart of the earth, hidden beneath layers of rock, constant no matter what happens on the surface. Storms may roar, waves may crash, but deep below, that fire never stops burning. When life is calm, you may take this inner strength for granted. It hums quietly while you move through ordinary days. But when the storm comes, you start to see how strong it truly is. You may feel shaken, but the light does not disappear. It waits for you to notice it again. The first step in holding your light is to pause. When trouble strikes, the mind wants to race, searching for answers, replaying fears, imagining what could go wrong. Take one slow breath instead. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Let your breath be a small anchor. You are not pretending the storm isn't real. You are simply giving yourself a moment to remember that the storm is not all that exists. Next, listen to what the storm is teaching you. Hard times often reveal truths we miss in easier seasons. You may discover which relationships are real and which were only surface deep. You may find courage you didn't know you had. You may realize that even in difficulty, kindness and small joys can still appear. A neighbor's smile, the smell of rain, the steady rhythm of your own heartbeat. These small gifts are proof that your inner light is still alive and moving through the world. It also helps to speak gently to yourself. The storm will tempt you to believe harsh thoughts. I can't handle this. I am alone. I have failed. Answer those thoughts with quiet kindness. I am learning. I am supported. I am stronger than I think. These words are not empty. They are the language of the light inside you, reminding you of what has always been true. Sometimes holding your light means reaching out. Call someone you trust. Share a small piece of what you feel. Let another person hold the light with you for a while. This is not weakness, it is wisdom. Your light does not shrink when you allow others to help. It grows. As you move through the storm, notice how your inner fire keeps guiding you. Perhaps you feel an unexpected calm in the middle of chaos. Perhaps you see a way forward that you couldn't see before. These are signs that your light is not only surviving, it is showing you the path ahead. When the skies finally clear, and they will, you will realize something powerful. The storm did not take your light, it revealed it. You will look back and see that the moments you thought were breaking you were actually shaping you into someone wiser, more compassionate, more whole. Your light is not just something you carry. It is who you are. If this message speaks to you, write in the comments, "My light remains steady through every storm." Let the act of writing be your way of claiming that truth. And if you want to keep gentle reminders like this close when life feels heavy, subscribe and turn on the bell so these words can find you whenever you need them. The storms of life will always come and go, but the light within you is constant, quiet, unshaken, and more powerful than any darkness. Hold it close. Let it guide you. It will always lead you home. There comes a point on every inner journey when you realize that the final lesson is not about how hard you can try, but how gently you can open. For so long you may have believed that life rewards only effort, long hours, constant planning, careful control. You have learned to push, to prove, to hold on tightly to every small chance. But there is a quieter truth waiting beneath all that striving. The things meant for you are already making their way toward you. Your task is not to chase them, but to let them arrive. This is the art of effortless receiving. Picture the first light of dawn spilling across a field. The flowers do not race to meet the sun. They do not strain their petals or beg the light to rise. They simply open, because opening is what they are made to do. This is how life wishes to meet you. It asks for your presence, not your tension. It invites you to soften your grip so that what is coming can finally find space to land. Effortless receiving is not passivity, and it is not laziness. It is a living kind of trust. It means you continue to act, but you act from a place of calm certainty instead of fear. You still plant seeds, but you no longer dig them up every hour to check if they have sprouted. You water the soil and trust the unseen work beneath the surface. The harvest comes not because you force it, but because you create the conditions for life to unfold. Think of the moments when something beautiful entered your life without a plan. Perhaps a friend appeared just when you needed guidance. Perhaps a job offer arrived after you finally stopped worrying about the search. Perhaps a sudden insight solved a problem you had wrestled with for weeks. These were not accidents. They were answers that could reach you only when you released your need to control the timing. To begin living this way, start with your own body. Notice where you hold tension, the shoulders that creep toward your ears, the jaw clenched without you realizing. Take a slow breath and let them soften. Imagine setting down a heavy bag you have carried for miles. You are not abandoning responsibility. You are laying aside the belief that every good thing must be dragged into being. With each breath, the space inside you widens, and in that space, life can move. Gratitude is the natural language of this openness. It is not a polite thank you, offered only when you receive a gift. It is the quiet recognition that gifts are already here. The air in your lungs, the heartbeat steady beneath your hand, the small kindness of a friend's smile. When you breathe with gratitude, you signal to life that you are ready for more. You are like the flower turning toward the sun, not begging, simply allowing the light to fall. This shift will not cancel every challenge. Storms will still arrive, plans will still change, but you will meet them differently. Instead of gripping tighter, you will notice that even the rough moments can carry hidden blessings. A new friendship born from a setback, a skill you would never have learned without difficulty. You begin to trust that life's rhythm includes both sunlight and rain, and that both are part of the growth you seek. Try a simple practice now. Sit quietly and place your hands open on your lap. Breathe in slowly and imagine the things you hope for, not as faraway dreams, but as truths already moving toward you. Feel how your body responds when you picture nothing missing, nothing forced. Perhaps you sense warmth in your chest or a soft release in your shoulders. That feeling is the first proof that receiving is already happening. It is the quiet evidence that you are part of something generous and alive. As you repeat this practice over days and weeks, you will begin to notice small confirmations. A message arriving at the perfect time, an unexpected offer of help, a door opening where you once saw only walls. These moments are not coincidences. They are the natural response to an open heart. They are life's way of saying, "I have heard you. Keep trusting." Effortless receiving is also an act of self-worth. To accept a gift, whether it is love, opportunity, or simple kindness, you must believe you deserve it. This is not arrogance, it is truth. When you whisper to yourself, "I am worthy of good things," you are not asking for special treatment. You are acknowledging what has always been. This quiet recognition draws more goodness to you, the way an open window invites the breeze. Pause for another slow breath. Feel the calm that begins to spread as you release the need to force outcomes. This is the beginning of the art of effortless receiving. A steady, living trust that what belongs to you will arrive at the right time, in the right way. It asks for no struggle, only your willingness to stay open. The practice of receiving without effort begins quietly, but its impact touches every part of your life. As you continue to soften, you notice that even your thoughts begin to move differently. The restless questions, "When will it happen? How will I make it work?" lose their urgency. In their place comes a slower rhythm, a trust that each answer will arrive when it is meant to. This is not the same as doing nothing. It is action without strain, a dance between your steps and the larger steps life is taking toward you. Imagine again the image of the flower turning to the morning sun. Its petals unfold because the light calls them, not because it fights to be noticed. When you live with this kind of openness, your own actions become more natural. You still write the email, make the call, take the walk toward what you hope for, but you do it with a heart at ease, free from the heavy belief that everything depends on your force. Your movements become like the petals unfolding, deliberate but without tension. This shift changes how you see success and failure. Moments that once felt like obstacles reveal themselves as gentle redirections. The job you didn't get leads you toward a project that fits you better. A door that closed forces you to discover a path you would have overlooked. You begin to see that life has its own intelligence, and that your openness allows this hidden wisdom to guide you. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" you start to wonder, "What is this trying to show me?" Effortless receiving is not about ignoring pain. There will be losses and disappointments, and you will feel them fully. But you will also feel the quiet support that lives beneath them, like the deep ocean that stays calm even while the surface storms. The trust you are cultivating remains steady. You realize that the gifts life brings are not always wrapped in joy at first glance. Sometimes they arrive disguised as endings that make space for beginnings. You may notice that relationships also begin to change. When you stop grasping for approval or clinging to control, people feel safer around you. Conversations open, connections deepen. You give without the weight of expectation and receive without guilt. This balance of giving and receiving is the natural flow of life, an invisible current that becomes stronger each time you let it move through you. Gratitude continues to be your guide. It is the quiet practice that keeps your heart open, even when the day is ordinary. You give thanks for the simple things, the warmth of a cup in your hands, the sound of rain, the familiar rhythm of your own breathing. This kind of gratitude is not a performance, it is a way of being. It tells life, "I see the gifts already here, and I am ready for the ones still on their way." In that readiness, more gifts find you. When you live in this openness, opportunities begin to arrive in surprising ways. A chance meeting offers exactly the advice you needed. A creative idea wakes you in the middle of the night. Help appears before you have time to ask. You recognize these moments not as luck, but as the natural echo of the trust you have been practicing. They are life's way of answering your quiet yes. Here is a simple practice to keep this art alive. Each morning, before you look at your phone or step into the day, sit with your hands open on your lap. Take 3 slow breaths. With each inhale, imagine that you are already surrounded by every good thing you need: love, guidance, possibility. With each exhale, release any thought that you must earn these gifts. If doubts rise, "What if I'm not ready?" let them pass like clouds. This is not a test. It is a daily remembering that what is meant for you will not be lost. Over time, you will see how this simple habit reshapes your days. You act when action is needed, but you no longer chase every outcome. You rest when rest calls you, without guilt. You trust that the right people, the right moments, the right answers are moving toward you as surely as the tide returns to the shore. And because you trust, you notice them when they arrive. Your life becomes a conversation rather than a struggle. If this message speaks to you, write in the comments, "I am ready to receive my highest good." Type it slowly and let the words settle into your heart as a quiet declaration. As you write, imagine the tension leaving your body like mist in morning light. This simple act is more than a line on a screen. It is a signal to life that you are open. And when you feel called, share this message with someone who might need the same reminder. Your act of sharing is itself a form of receiving. When you give light, more light returns. Finally, if you want to keep these gentle reminders close, subscribe and turn on the bell. Let this click be a promise to yourself. I will stay connected to the frequency of trust and openness. It is not a contract with anyone else. It is a quiet commitment to keep your own heart open. The art of effortless receiving is not a trick or a secret. It is the natural rhythm of life. It is the quiet wisdom that has always been waiting beneath the noise. When you release control and open your hands, what is meant for you flows in, sometimes slowly, sometimes all at once, always right on time.